Now that the second anniversary is well behind us, what's the state of the game like? What is going on, guys? Corrosive Bully here. We're going to be going over my thoughts and my opinions on the state of the game as it stands currently in October of 2020. But I figure we'll do it a little bit differently. Last time when I did one of these videos, I basically went through the menus and I did a little bit of gameplay here and there. Just kind of discussed the overall things, but last night we got a bit of a surprise. We got Super Saiyan Bardock is coming out with his Zenkai Awakening. So I have all these Master Pack tickets that we can use to try and summon for him. So I figured I'll go ahead and just summon on these Master Pack banners. Hopefully we can maybe get 14-star Super Saiyan Bardock. That would be awesome if we could. And I'll just kind of go over my thoughts and opinions on the game. I do this maybe every half year. This would be the second or third one that I've done. So if you guys would like to see more opinions on the game and just kind of like semi-half reviews on how I think the state of the game is, let me know down in the comments below. But with that said, we're just going to jump right into it. So, thoughts on the game? Well, I can definitely say that where it stands now, the game is in a much better place than it was at the second anniversary. We've gotten 2 step-ups since the second anniversary and whatnot. The banners have been excessively better. They've been so much better. We had the introduction to boost missions, which we'll get into in a second. We had a lot of changes with Zenkais too. So I think we'll start with the good things that I think have been added in the game. So in terms of some of the good stuff, I think the inclusion of the boost missions is a fantastic option. As a consumer and as a player, I like being able to have options in terms of how accessible am I able to get materials, how accessible am I to get units, and of that like. Well, the boost missions are a great option for that, and while I do believe that the boost missions itself can be a little bit on the pricey side, the way that they work, at least from what we've seen so far, has been fantastic. So, for example, the boost missions first came out with the Goten and Trunks banner, and you are required to pull 1 copy of each of those units. But for 2,000 Chrono Crystals, you can get upwards to 6 stars on those characters for 2,000 crystals. So if you think about it, the way that this is kind of set up is that if you're able to pull the units early enough, you could potentially save the amount of CC that you're spending, which will ultimately make the game essentially more free to play than what it's been. And I like that option. And then we got the boost missions that came out just a couple weeks ago, where the boost missions basically gave you resources. And while that's a nice option to have, that was definitely a bit on the pricey side. As for all the different colors in the game, like I think it was like 2,500 crystals, something along those lines. So in terms of those boost missions, it really just depends on where the boost missions go forward. But like again, like the boost missions are options; they're not necessary. They just came out. They just updated weekend banners or weekend events, where the material missions for the souls missions, you get increased amount of souls, and that's a good free to play way of getting super souls and regular souls to boost your characters. And it's just it's nice that they've done stuff like that. I know I'm just rambling at this point, but that's basically what these videos are about. But it's a nice free to play option. But for those players that want to spend the extra CC, put the extra time or the extra money into it, like the boost missions for that, while they can be expensive, it's a really nice, quick and easy, effective way of getting it without having to spend energy and skip tickets and waste your time and resources with all that. So I like the addition of the boost missions personally. The units that have been coming out have been fantastic in terms of their viability. In a Vegito Blue run meta and fusions kind of dominating the meta for a good time, the fact that hybrids has gotten so much love and now they are like a top tier team or one of the top tier teams in the game is really nice. And then obviously we got the Danger Trio, which is the first real like deviation that we've had away from some of the characters that we've always been getting. Because for a while it's kind of, to me it's always felt like we've had like Saiyans or fusions or something for at least a good portion of this year. And while that's not necessarily a bad thing, I like the idea of having new characters and like different metas coming up and about. So the Danger Trio being added in shortly will be really nice, and especially with a brand new tag coming out, Rival Universe, which was on the EX Rebrian unit. Rival Universe looks like it's going to be the next big tag that they're going to start putting units on. Rebrian EX being the first one, and then obviously the Danger Trio will more than likely be on the Rival Universe tag. Jiren will probably end up going on the Rival Universe tag. It's just nice that there's a bit of a shakeup in the meta compared to what there was back at the beginning of the second anniversary. So stuff like that's been very nice. Again, the units that have been coming out have been very well made units. They all, excel in the kits that they've been given. New Goten and Trunks have been fantastic. Zenkai Gohan, Red Super Saiyan 2 LF Gohan. He's about as dangerous as Vegito Blue, but the fact that hybrids got love, and hybrids was a team that never really excelled or was given the proper TLC that it was given. So I'm just excited to see the meta kind of move around and change the way that it has been. Event-wise, events have been extremely generous. We've been having events that have been giving out a lot of free Chrono Crystals. There's been a lot of rehashes of existing events where, OG players from day one are able to redo those missions and get their Chrono Crystals back again. Oh, we're getting multiple Sparkings in this one. Cool. So seeing events kind of come back, but like we got the Champions Day, which is going on right now. You do that every day, you get 500 crystals. We had a brand new raid event that came out, and because we beat it within less than 24 hours, we're getting 20 Clash medals, which you only need 10 of those to get 1,000 Chrono Crystals. We have events like that. All the Legends Road units have been kind of coming back, which is really nice. And just, it's the amount of events, while it's not quite overwhelming by any means, it's definitely been well needed, especially for returning players and everything. It's just been nice to have something to do in the game, and it doesn't feel like it's been boring. The only time I'd say it's been boring is maybe in the past 2-3 weeks, where basically nothing was going on. And even then, like, obviously this game's going to have down periods. There's going to be moments where the game is not going to have a ton of events going on at one time. But the one or two events that they do bring out during the downtime has actually been really, really nice. For example, free-to-play EX Raditz Zenkai. He was the only event that was going on for the longest time. But I didn't necessarily mind it because I spent all my time trying to get him up to Zenkai 7. So in situations like that, I think it's okay. Because especially with an event like that is free to play, and it's a unit that you can grind out. Like, you need all the time in the world to grind them out while you can. But that's just me. That's my take. In terms of what the game has been kind of lacking in, I think the amount of Zenkai units that have been coming out, it's a bit much. It's gotten to the point where in the past 2 months, I think we've had 6 or 7 Zenkai units. And while it's nice that they're putting those options out there and they're giving players options, whether they want to summon on new banners or summon on Zenkais, like, it happens too frequently. Because it's happening too frequently, you're kind of pushing away the player base to not spend the chrono crystals or buy more chrono crystals to do it. I think you're kind of forcing the player's hand in terms of what they are even capable of doing, and that's probably kind of why they've been pushing out like events like they have been. I think it's more or less to kind of put more CC in the player's hands so that they have those options. But in regards to the Zenkais, like, you need to scale it back. Once every 2 weeks, once every 3 weeks is manageable. But there was a time where I think literally back to back we've had Zenkais. And it just becomes too much. It's too much for players to really take in. So that's where I kind of stand on Zenkais. Bardock is the first Zenkai we've had since, I think, Android 18. I think I might be wrong on that, but Android 18 I think was the last new Zenkai that came out, and that was maybe 2-3 weeks ago. So again, like, the time frame here is fine between the last one and Super Saiyan Bardock, but you just need to scale it back a little bit. And then my other complaint then, I guess, would be story mode. I feel like story mode hasn't really been given a whole lot of love these past couple months. Obviously, we had Shallot go Super Saiyan God during the 2nd anniversary, towards, like, part 2, I guess, of the anniversary, if you want to put it that way. But, like, since then, we've only gotten maybe only a couple chapters a month. And that's where part of my issue is that not only are the story missions and the story events becoming less frequent, they're becoming less abundant. I remember back in, like, part 2, part 3, maybe even part 4, that certain chapters would go to, like, 12 different chapters per book. And now it's like you're lucky if you get maybe 6 or 7. I don't know if it's the developers trying to, like, rush the story. I don't know if it's a matter of just them not having the time to be able to put it in, but the lack of story events, I think it needs to be sped up just a little bit. I guess that's why, because the story's been going so slow, I guess that's why they kind of brought back part 4, or, like, the hard modes, the hard mode story events in part 4, which is great. It's fine. Honestly, they should step up the hard mode quite a bit. That way, that's more easily accessible. But again, like that. Even then, like, those hard mode missions barely come around. So I think, honestly, more love and care needs to be put into the story mode. I think they need to take more time to kind of flesh out story and give players something to actually, like, play and work towards. In terms of just, you know, their story experience. And then obviously you got to crank out hard modes more often. So I don't know. That's just my thoughts on that. In terms of gameplay wise, the benefits of having 3 Sparkings, jeez. They upgraded the energy system, and while I was kind of skeptical about the energy system at the beginning, I think the energy system is actually really well done. They increased the cap on skip tickets, which is great. Because now I'm at like 2,500 skip tickets, and I don't feel like... And then you got the recycling center if you need to get rid of skip tickets too. So it's just not... It's nice that they've added stuff like that. But in terms of... And they've added stuff like the Super Chrono Crystal bot in the shop, which has been really nice. They started doing monthly sales where you can get 2,000 Chrono Crystals, I think, for like $15 or something, which is really, really cheap. Which is really cheap and effective. It's really nice that they give those types of sales out. I've definitely been delving into that once a month. And that really goes a long way. I've been pulling that Goku like crazy. The only other thing I think they need to work on at this point is, obviously we know that the guild stuff is coming. Guild stuff is getting worked on. We also got I think some PvP changes in terms of balancing and stuff is coming out. They released the training mode to replace the friendly matches, which has been nice. So there's the changes like that have been really good. The only other thing I think they really need to fix is the equipment system. I absolutely hate the equipment system. It's just not fun. The chances of getting a S rank or Z rank, at least for me, my luck has been abysmal with it. I get maybe an S rank. I get an S rank maybe once a month through that system. And then, man, we didn't get a single Super Saiyan Bardock. That sucks. And I've only ever gotten one Z. I've gotten one Z and one Z plus since the new equipment changes have come out. And it's just not a good time. I don't have fun doing it. I really, really wish they would just update it and do something where, like, at least they increase the chances of getting a S or Z or something. But that's more or less just a nitpick for me. I think a lot of people would feel the same. And yeah, so that's more or less my overall thoughts on what the state of the game is looking like right now. Obviously in the next coming months, especially with the winter celebration right around the corner, it remains to be seen if things are going to get better or worse. As we know, Legends is absolutely notorious for always going like 2 steps forward, 1 step back, and then 1 step forward, 2 steps back. So if we can keep this momentum in terms of the positive changes that the game has gotten going, if we can just keep getting that, and the game just keeps on improving time and time again, the game's going to be just as good as it was when the game first came out. Or even like during the first year anniversary. Like we could go back to that time. And wouldn't that be an amazing time to be in? Where Legends is an actually fun game and a great game that everybody can enjoy, and just go from there. Honestly, Toshi has been really, really good in terms of keeping us in the loop, and he really does not deserve the amount of hate that he gets. So hopefully down the road, if things improve, that the hate towards him and the development team kind of get a little more lax. But we'll see. Currently, I'm having fun with the game. This is a really good time to be playing Legends as it currently stands. And I hope everybody else is enjoying the game in its current state as well. With that said, I think that's going to wrap this up for just this thoughts and opinions video. So let me know down in the comments what you guys think of the current state of the game. Let me know what you guys would like to see changed, what you guys want to see added to the game. Yeah, like and subscribe. Let me know if you want to see more content like this, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.